17th of April, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
All right. This is, you remember, is all based on a Mishnah Avos. With the downfall of your enemies, you shouldn't be joyful. Right?
That's Pierke Avos?
That's a Mishnah in Pierke Avos, right?
Ah, okay.
So we're cautioned in Avos, we're cautioned about not expressing joy over the downfall of our enemies. Now, that in general is only understood to be an enemy, which is a Jew, a non-Jewish enemy. That you do have a right to be joyful over their downfall. So, yeah, if you want to take a look if you have your Mishnah Avos there. Let's say, I remember, didn't you got a couple of Svarim on Avos, right? I think there was the Alshich. I forgot which.
I have this Ethics from Sinai,
Yeah.
and I have this book, Who Are the Fathers?
Let's see.
What
One
chapter and verse is it?
I thought didn't your wife get yourself a birthday present a year or two ago? The parish in Avos?
Yes. Yeah, no, I think that's this. Who are the fathers?
You think so? Let's see. Who's it written by?
It's written by Martin March.
No, I don't think so. So you got you something else there, unless maybe it's still packed up. Maybe you got it before you moved. It's still packed up, maybe. I think there was this.
Yeah, there were two books she got me. I see one of them sitting here, and the other one I think she may have taken. I may have to go ask her for it.
Okay, no problem.
Want to hold on for a second? I'll be right back.
Yeah.
She's davening right now, so I can't ask her right now.
No problem. No problem. So, 1 second. Well, here we go. Let's see. Yeah. Um, okay. Just takes time to find exactly what we want here. Let's see here.
I'm amazed you can find it at all.
Here we go. Let's see. Okay, so let's. This is a Pierke Avos Rejoicing. Okay. This is actually. I'm going to try and send you this. It's. So. This is a Pierke Avos. This the source of this is now by Mordechai and Haman. So Haman at the time when let's see, when at the time when Mordechai was getting onto the horse that he was supposed to be led through Shushan, and Haman was supposed to lead him. So Haman was told to bow, to get kneel down on his hands and feet, and Mordechai stepped on his back to climb up onto the horse, and he was I guess smiling. So Haman quoted in the pasuk. It says, "Kasi b'Torah noifel or yevecha al tismak." You shouldn't be joyful over the demise of your enemies, right? So Mordechai said back to Haman, "Hani milim Israel." That's if it's a Jewish enemy that's comes to his demise. Person has a Jewish enemy, and he comes to his demise. So then he's supposed to be. He's not supposed to express joy over that. But our umas olam, right? But if it's in the non-Jewish world, someone is an enemy from he's a non-Jewish enemy. So then, therefore, he can. He definitely can be right. Joyful, as it says in the pasuk in Devarim. Pasuk in Devarim says, "Va'ata alba moseinu tidroich." If you want, take a look in Devarim. You have a Chumash Devarim.
I do. Where are we in Devarim?
Devarim Lamed Gimel Chav Tes.
Lam.
Perek Lamed Gimel Pasuk Chav Tes.
Okay, I'm in Lamed Gimel. Up test. Okay, so it says, Ashrecha Yisrael mi chamocha am nosha b'Hashem magain ezrecha v'asher cherev vasecha v'yikachashu oivecha lecha v'ata al b'mo se mo sidroch. Wow, it's a long pasuk. Okay, so it says, fortunate are you, Israel, who is like you, a people delivered by Hashem, the shield of your help, that the sword, he is the sword of your grandeur, and your enemies lie to you.
Was that your enemies lied to you?
Yeah, it says, and your enemies will lie to you, but you will trample their high places. Now that's brings to mind the Psalm of the day for Thursday, when it says your enemies lie to you. Let me see if I can find it. I wonder if it's a similar reference. Thursday. So yeah, I think it's the same word actually. Vayikachashu, it says Misanei Hashem Yechachashu Lo. The haters of Hashem would lie to him. Vihi itam, and it would be their time, le'olam, forever. I never understood what this meant. I still don't understand it.
Yeah. Okay. Again, what's unclear? Let me hear the question clearly.
So it's in the Psalm of the Day for Thursday.
Right. Okay.
And it's right after the section where it's talking about if Israel would just listen to me, says Hashem, then and walk in my ways, then in an instant I would destroy their enemy. I would subdue their enemies, and their tormentors I would turn, and upon the tormentors I would turn my hand. So that seems pretty clear what that means. Then the next sentence says, those who hate Hashem would lie to him, but their time would be forever.
The time would be forever. Interesting.
Vihi itam le'olam. And I don't understand what it means, and I don't understand in context what it means. It seems out of place.
Right. Okay, that pasuk. Right.
It's the same wording as we have here. Vayikachashu, to lie. Your enemies will lie to you.
Right.
Is there a Rashi on this? Yeah, there's a Rashi. Rashi says, Kagon ha-giv onim, such as the Gibeonites, she'amru, who said, Me eretz rechoka ma'od ba'u avadecha v'gomer. Your servants have come from a very distant land, etc. Says the footnote says Joshua 9:9, the Gibeonites lied to Israel out of fear that Israel would annihilate them. Rashi explains how your enemies will lie to you as a blessing. Similar points in his comment to Shmuel 2 and Psalms. Well, it's a blessing? I thought that was a bad episode.
Right. So since they didn't, they tried to lie themselves out of the war, so they would think that the Jews would think that they were not part of Eretz Canaan.
Right.
They were afraid, right? So that means how they were lying, right? Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to think what I have to look at the that Shir Yom and see what they say in the Meforshim say on that pasuk. It's difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a look.
I'd like it if you did that, because that, every time I read that, I go, what does this mean?
Right. Right. Right.
Also, because I quote that previous sentence sometimes to people when I'm debating somebody, and I'm trying to make the point that the only reason we have enemies is because we're not acting correctly. Because Hashem says, if you'll only walk in my ways, I'll wipe out your enemies in an instant and turn my hand against them.
Right, exactly.
It's clear that the only reason we have enemies is because we're not behaving correctly.
Yeah, that's right. That's obvious. Yeah, it's people only. It's our fault. We have to do a lot of introspection in terms of understanding where the source of all this develops. I remember years and years and years ago. I remember reading some book that was written, I don't know, maybe 150 years ago. It's trying to explain the source of, come up for a source for the theory of anti-Semitism, right?
Right.
So this genius's idea was that really, since Jews are supposed to be agricultural people, and they started moving into the cities, so the Goyim didn't like all these farming peasants moving into the cities. So that's why they hated the Jews. Anyway.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant idea. Anyway.
Yeah. I remember reading one time that the reason women wore dresses was because they were on the farm.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, what? The opposite is true. On a farm, that's when a dress becomes really inappropriate, inconvenient. If anything, you'd say women were in the city and they wore dresses. And then when they moved to the farm, they wanted to wear pants. So it was a completely illogical argument.
Yeah. Anyway. Yes, he had a lot to write about in those days.
They had too much time on their hands.
Yeah. So let's see.
For today.
Yeah. So you said okay. So the next show will be from the 11th to 12th. So we'll be starting about 10 after 5 after 10, 10 after 10 or so for the next few days during Chol Hamoed, and then after Pesach we can get back to our regular schedule.
Right. That's great.
Okay.
Whatever you can find, I will be very appreciative.
Yeah, I have a chance later today, this afternoon, to look around and see some solid information on the question you're dealing with. Very good. Okay.
All right. Kol Tuv.
Okay. Have a good Moed. We'll speak to you tomorrow.
All right, Rabbi. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.